pushing, shoving, but this could bust. This could really go. This is purely a test of strength. That's Mr. Shiro watching me. And it looks like it's all going to go over. Well, Beck and Holmgren are still pushing. There they go. Look out, Dave Maloney. He's on the bench.
Holmgren has got Beck's sweater off. That's what he wants. And they're both going, Jim.
There goes Johnstone. Oh, shot by Wilson with a stick. Holy mackerel, look at the job Eddie's doing on it. Barnes and Johnstone. Good shot by Johnstone. Beaton making sure that it stays a one-on-one. Holy mackerel, they can't get it stopped. Johnstone giving it a terrible beating. Holmgren skating over. He and Beck didn't get to the penalty box. Beck is challenging Holmgren. Wilson came in as a third man. Beck's going to go for him. Oh, a hard shot by Beck that time. Wilson and Beck. We could have a couple of guys tossed out of the game.
Jim Wilson used his stick on Eddie Johnson.
He sure did.
There's Hospodar and Bridgman. That should go too.
Kindred line. Now Norm Barnes through at the Ranger line and hits the linesman Ron Foyt. They've been concentrating, sending in the flyer. They all further in at the Ranger player bench to say hello.
Well, they got a lot of heavyweights out there. Now Barnes and Eddie Johnstone are getting at each other. Eddie Johnstone, when he played in Providence in the American League, was known as Chicken Hawk, because he looks like Charlie Chicken Hawk in the cartoons.
Watch out. Now, up, now everybody pairs off. Marois with Kelly. Hospodar on the far side with Bridgman. Barnes with Johnstone, and we got the makings of a war.
Marois has the advantage. He's holding on to the boards and Kelly so that he can't get loose. It looks like Hospodar has a hold of Bridgman in the same position. Beck went right to Paul Holmgren, and Ben Wilson went right to Barry Beck. There could be a lot of action and fireworks before this game's over, but right now there's a lot more threatening gestures.
Bobby, when you get out in that situation, do you seed players in order of strength and then try to match off accordingly?
I think you'll find a lot of times the big guys will go to each other. Holmgren and Beck had a super fight in Colorado 2 years ago. It was one of the best hockey fights I've ever seen. They both stood toe-to-toe and exchanged blows, and you'd have to say it was a draw.
Well, now Johnstone taking punches at Norm Barnes. And Johnstone getting much the better of it so far.
He's punching with his right hand. Barnes can't get his loose. Eddie Johnstone is really landing the good right hands to him. He can't came to get his right arm free. Johnstone really has a hold of Barnes' arms. He can't get loose. And he's landing the right hand. A lot of them aren't getting too much power on him, but they look good. Now they'll have the linesmen getting in. And what happens is that all the linesmen are trying to separate the first two, Holmgren and Beck. But as usual, the linesmen have a hold of the Flyers, and they do not have a hold of any of the Rangers. First one, Ben Wilson wants Barry Beck, and Holmgren wants Beck. Now Wilson and Beck are rolling there. Now they're starting to fire at each other. Boy, this is two heavyweights, Beck and Wilson. Wilson is trying to get some good punches, and Beck's holding on now. They're trying to get good. Oh, Wilson got some good right hands on Beck. They're not looking like they're very strong punches because they both have each other on a pretty good hold. But Wilson went looking for Beck. Beck went looking for Holmgren. And then Wilson ended up getting a hold of him first. What's tough about this for the officials is the fact that they had to break up 3 fights in a row, which spread them out. But the only thing that you're going to have to question is they always go first to the orange sweaters rather than going for the white. Now Bridgman and Hospodar are talking with each other. It looks like they might want to go. That Hospodar is a very tough kid. He was picked up for that in the draft, the second round. Eddie Johnstone without a sweater as Barnes ripped it off him. Beck and Wilson. Wilson still wants to get at Beck, but they won't get a hold of Barry Beck is not wanting it. Wilson now in the penalty box. Beck going in, Eddie Johnstone going in. Johnstone got the better of Barnes in the fight. In fact, Barnes never even landed a punch. Johnstone got more than that. We'll have to find out how the referee is going to call it, Brian Lewis.
But it looks like 3 flyers might go. I've got Holmgren, Barnes, and Wilson, and Johnstone and Beck. As we pick up referee Brian Lewis, who's directly below us at the penalty keeper's slot, along with the 2 linesmen, the balding John D'Amico and the good-looking Ron Foyt.
Minutes for fighting, plus 2 minutes for roughing. Number 25 of Philadelphia, Norm Barnes, receives 5 minutes for fighting. Number 3 of Philadelphia, Ben Wilson, receives 5 minutes for fighting and 5 minutes for fighting. Number 9 of Philadelphia, Bob Kelly, 2 minutes for roughing. For New York, number 3, Barry Beck, 5 plus 5 for fighting. Number 17, Eddie Johnstone, 5 minutes for fighting. And number 25, Marois, 2 minutes for roughing. The time of all penalties, 8 minutes, 32 seconds, 8:32.